Why, hello there. Today I'm going to read you a story about a little girl. Her name is Sophie. Sophie gets in this red zone. Remember how we talked about that red zone? And everybody sometimes gets in that red zone, and why we have to make sure that we do the right thing, because if we were in the red zone and we were really, really angry, we might hit somebody or kick somebody or punch somebody, and how that's never ever okay to do. How we have to take deep breaths to calm us down. Now, Sophie, my guess is she's tired. Have you ever heard of the word tantrum? Have you ever had a tantrum? A tantrum is when you're really, really angry. You might stomp your feet and cross your arms, and your face might get really red because you're so upset. You're in that red zone. Well, that's what my story is today about Sophie having a temper tantrum. It's called, I like the title, The Chocolate Covered Cookie Tantrum. Look at that word tantrum, how big it is. This book is written by, so what is that person called? Written by, you right, that's the author, is Deborah Bloomith. And the pictures, that person is the illustrator, is Harvey Stevenson. Now we're going to look closely at some of the words, and then we're going to look closely at some of those illustrations, those pictures that the illustrator drew, because they're really important to work together. Okay? Oh, even look at, I see Sophie right there. Her face looks mad, and it looks like she's stomping her feet. I wonder what she's angry about. Well, think of the title, The Chocolate Covered Cookie. Have you ever wanted something and mom or dad or grandma or grandpa say, no, you can't have it? I wonder if that's why she is angry and is having a temper tantrum. Ooh, I like this picture right here. She looks like she's at the park with her mom. She's building something in the in the sandbox. Late one afternoon, on the way home from the park. Ooh, she looks pretty calm now. She must be in that green zone that we've talked about. That's good, huh? Sophie saw a girl eating a chocolate-covered cookie, and it looked delicious. Sophie wanted one too. Well, she's in that green zone. She wanted it, and we already know that she's going to throw a temper tantrum. I want a cookie, said Sophie. I want that cookie. Look at her face. Doesn't have a smile on it. It's not super red. It doesn't look upset. She's just asking. I want that cookie that girl has. I am sorry, said her mother. I don't have any cookies right now, and it's almost supper time. But Sophie didn't care about supper. She wanted a chocolate-covered cookie. I want one, Sophie yelled. I want one. I know you want one, said her mother, but I don't have one. Boy, she says, I want one, and then in the big, bold words, it says, I want one. Ooh, is she starting to get angry? What does she want? I want one. I want one. What does she want? You're right. She wants that cookie, doesn't she? Ooh, look at her now. Her face looks very angry. Her mom told her, nope, You can't have one. I don't have one. She didn't have one to give to her. Get one, yelled Sophie, shaking her arms and legs and dropping to the ground. I want one, she yelled, shaking her head from side to side, banging her feet on the ground. I want a cookie! I want a cookie! Sophie, said her mother, let's go home, and then we'll see about that cookie. So not only is she just yelling, I want one, but she is stomping her feet and shaking her hands. Boy, that's a tantrum. Her whole body is changing. Not just her words, but her whole body. But Sophie didn't want to go home. She didn't want supper. She just wanted the cookie. The cookie! Oh, she was really angry. She cried and cried and cried to get the cookie. She cried so much that her face was like a hot pepper. She was so mad she couldn't stop. She kicked her legs in the air. She pounded her heels on the ground. She kicked and pounded and pounded and kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked. I love how the author drew this picture of the red pepper so we can visualize what her face looks like. She is in a temper tantrum. When we have a temper tantrum like that, you probably can't hear anything that anybody is saying to you. She is really mad. Her face is like a red pepper. She rubbed her sneakers into the sidewalk and rolled her head back and forth and rocked it upside down. Sophie, her mother asked, do you want to finish your banana? No, said Sophie. No banana, no banana, no banana. She didn't want the banana. She wanted the cookie. Ooh, I thought that made her angrier because she didn't want the banana. She wanted the cookie. What zone is she in again? You're right. She's in that red zone. Do you think that she's going to stay in that red zone all day? I don't think so either. I think she should probably take some deep breaths. Maybe her mom might rub her back. Maybe her mom might just give her a couple minutes to cool down. Has your mom or dad ever said that to you? I'm going to let you cool down. Yeah, she won't stay in that zone forever. There she is. She's sitting on the ground. You can see the picture. She's drying her tears because remember, she was crying. Her mom is just standing there. Sophie cried and cried and cried and cried and cried until the trees and the ground and the sky started to rumble and tumble and spin and turn. Is that what really happened, do you think? Or do you think she's sitting there thinking that everything is spinning, calming herself down? Yeah. I love how the illustrator makes it look like it's spinning and spinning like that. And go round and round and around and around. Think she's starting to calm down? I bet she's taking those deep breaths until everything stopped. She still has tears in her eyes, but she's not throwing that temper tantrum. Another thing she might have done, and the pictures didn't show us, is something that we have learned at school. Maybe she gave herself some squeezes like this, or massaged her hands, right, to calm herself down. Maybe she counted to the number 10. Those are all ways that what you can do to calm yourself down. Then she took a big, shaky breath and got up. I want my blanket, said Sophie. Here, said her mother. Sophie pulled it to her face. Now we'll go, said her mother. said Sophie. She took her mother's hand and they walked home. On the couch, she fell asleep. And when she woke up, she ate her supper until there was nothing left. She probably got so angry because she was tired. She fell asleep and she ate all of her supper, which means she was probably hungry. But it's probably not good to have a chocolate-covered cookie before dinner. Then her mother surprised her with, what do you think? A chocolate-covered cookie, you're right. Sophie took a big bite. A smile spread over her face. I like cookies, said Sophie. Yes, said her mother. I know you do. So her mother gives her a cookie at the end, even though she threw a temper tantrum. Everybody has bad days. It sounded like Sophie had a pretty bad day. I want you to think about a green light and a red light. These are some things that you can do to calm yourself down, the green zone. You can go to a cozy spot to keep yourself safe. You could go read a book. You can get a hug from somebody. You could even scribble all over a piece of paper. Things you should never do when you are mad. Red means stop. You never can hit somebody or kick somebody, bite somebody, punch somebody just because you're angry. We've been talking a lot about that at school. Sophie was in a bad mood. She had a big temper tantrum. She was in that red zone. She did something to calm herself down, to get back into that green zone. And that's okay to have feelings just like that. Have a great day.